Hello traders, Greg here from Master Trader. I want to discuss retest patterns here, and they come in different varieties and there are different quality concepts that we can apply to them, because you have many different types of retest patterns. So let's take a look at this chart of the S&P 500 and see what we have here. This is a retest pattern. Now what we see here is that this created a momentum move higher. This is what we call a continuation pattern, or a red bar ignored, and then it continued higher again. And when prices move that rapidly, that fast, it creates what we refer to as a void. Now what's a void? A void is a void of any significant support or resistance. The way this advances is that we have a rapid advance that creates a void, and then the M part of it is a time correction. It's going sideways. At that point, we don't know whether that sideways correction is going to be a continuation higher or whether it might be a failure. Now, as we apply what we call bar by bar analysis, it adds a little bit more what's going on in the moment that tells us the probability of what's going to happen. So in this instance, we had the void, we had the time correction, and then this bar here is the shock bar, or that bar that tells us it's going to go down. It was a breakout that failed. This was a larger green bar. You can see the size of the range there. And then it closes what we call a topping tail, and it closes at the low and it breaks. And because of the void, the lack of any significant support, it suggests to us it's going to go lower. Now, could it stop in this area? Well, it did for a moment, and then it kept going. Now, why it went up here, that would be another lesson. Now, as to what's going on right now, this is a retest pattern also. You can see, and this was last Friday, it retested this area and closed green. But it started down with a big power bar to the downside. And then before the reversal was a big power bar to the downside. So while this is a retest pattern, it really doesn't have any void. The retracement is relatively shallow, but it's not a quality pattern. So it's just not the kind of a pattern like this one that gives us a high probability setup, in this case to get short. And with this one, as far as a long trade setup goes, it's not the kind of quality that would suggest it's going to get through the midpoint with relative ease, where this one did suggest it could get through the midpoint with relative ease because of the momentum move, the sideways correction, the failure here. Rather here, power bar down, we get a big reversal bar, and this did not take out the low, whereas this one took out the high. If this bar would have come down with another red bar and then took out the high and formed a reversal, that would have been much more interesting for a short-term trade. I hope that helps. If you have any questions, email me, greg@mastertrader.com.